All right, today we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects. I could talk about this. I love talking about it with people that have more money than me, are more successful, and are further along in the journey of retirement and the path of, I guess, just their overall life in general. But it's financial freedom. What does financial freedom mean? I have my own definition, but here's a definition that just a quick Google search. Financial freedom, the ability to live your desired lifestyle without being constrained by financial stress. Can you have financial freedom without having a mortgage paid off? I think that you can. I also think that it's rare, especially where we live here in Oklahoma, like Oklahoma City, like not a huge rental market, not a huge city in general. So I think it's a lot more rare for us to truly be able to live that definition of financial freedom without having a mortgage paid off. Yes, I think you can. Like I said, you better be investing your money somewhere else. If you make enough money to make a lot of good investments elsewhere, odds are you probably own a home, and that's where your money is going to as well. That's why I say it's rare. I don't think a lot of people that are investing a lot are renting. They're probably investing on top of paying off a mortgage because they're paying that money towards rent or mortgage anyway. So they're more, I guess, more calculated with how they spend and use their money and how they look at money. Also, if you have any disagreements or anything to add or questions, feel free to comment. This is what I believe, but I mean, I'm sure there's some good points towards the other side as well. So anyway, here's also just some quick little data. Homeowners have a median net worth of 40 times greater than renters. 40 times greater. Yes, a lot of that is in equity, and people will say, well, you can't really touch that equity, which is true and bad. I mean, you get in a bad situation, you can do like HELOCs and stuff like that and access some of your money. You can also sell a house and move into something smaller. You also have something, if you own a house, to give to your kids or grandkids whenever you pass away. I know that doesn't benefit you like in this life, but it helps those after you pass. But 40 times, and that's not just equity. That goes on to go on it, and it even mentions like stocks and bonds and other retirement accounts as well. I think the reason why that is, other than the obvious one, is a lot of the money is equity, is that people that, I think that most renters, I'm generalizing, aren't as calculated with how they spend their money and how they think about money. So they're probably not putting money away into stocks and that kind of stuff if they don't have a mortgage that they're putting their money into as well. Rent, since 2020, and this is Oklahoma City specific, rent has increased over 35% since 2020. Since 2010, 30%, which is a lot. So that takes me to another point. So you are paying as a renter, or whether you're paying a mortgage, you are paying to live, to stay in a place no matter what. So why, and this is a genuine question, why would you not be putting that money towards paying something off? Whenever you own a house, you are not only, your money, your mortgage is not only going to paying something off, but you're also getting appreciation on top of that. So you're like, that's like a double bonus. I just did quick math, just really quick math. If you've rented since, I said since 2010, so I just did 10 years. So if you've been renting since 2016, we'll say just easy, $1,000 a month, which odds are you're probably paying quite a bit more than that. So you got $1,000 a month times 12, 1,200 times 10, that's $120,000 in the last decade that you spent to live, that you would have had to spend anyway, that you aren't getting any of that money back. You're not getting a dime of that back. In fact, not only are you not getting that back, but you paid for your landlord's rent and they got the appreciation. Whereas if you had bought a house, you would have 120, or I mean, you got interest, so it wouldn't be all of 120,000 of those. Actually, now that I think about it, it'd probably be more if you count appreciation on top of it. So just that alone. Another thing that you don't think about is not only gaining appreciation, gaining equity, but at any time, most renters are on a year lease, and then they go to month to month, or maybe they sign a year lease. But if you've rent for long enough, you've experienced this, your rent will go up. It's going to go up. So if you've been renting for the last 10 years, I guarantee you've had at least one rental increase, probably multiple. And that's not fun to your lease to end and then get a note or a phone call or whatever it is that they're going to up your rent an extra $100 this month. But that's probably not even the worst part about renting. In my opinion, the worst part about renting is the fact that that landlord can sell your house at any moment. They can sell that house at any moment. If you're on a lease, they can still sell your house at any moment. Now, whoever buys the house will have to honor that lease, but you may have a great landlord, they sell their house, and now you have a landlord that isn't going to fix anything, just like that, and now you want to move. Or you're on a month-to-month, and they sold your house, and the person that bought it wants to live in it, just like that. You get a phone call, you got 30 days to be out of the house, and you need to find a new house, just like that. Or you're on month to month, or your lease ends, and your landlord doesn't even sell your house. They just let you know, hey, you got 30 days. You need to leave in 30 days. That's all the time that is required by law to give you. I think that's the worst part, and I think that is the biggest flaw in all of this. Is that renters only get 30 days, because like if you wanted to buy a house, you can't even find a house and close in 30 days usually. So that's very difficult. So here are benefits, just to kind of recap. Buy a mortgage and get it paid off, and then get it paid off early too. Like, you don't have to pay the minimum. Everyone's like 30 years. Yeah, if you're paying the minimum, hopefully your salary increases over time. You start paying more. If I don't know exactly, so don't quote me on this, but something like if you pay an extra payment a month, that cuts off like 7 years off a 30-year mortgage. Just that simple. Your rate for a mortgage is fixed versus a rent that's going to go up. And then not even this is another big one I'm going to go back on, where they can kick you out at any moment. If you never own a home, you're going to be 60 years old, and then you're going to get kicked out and have to move out. And that stinks for people, especially in their years, whenever you get up there a little bit and you're not as physically capable of moving stuff, it becomes even worse and magnified. So anyway, if you have any comments, or like I said, any questions or anything, or you want to add to anything or discuss anything, let me know, because I truly do like this conversation, not just about buying a house, but like financial freedom in general, investments, that kind of stuff. So if you do want to buy a house or talk about buying a house, give me a call. If you want to sell a house, give me a call. Another thing I'm going to hit on, I know I'm kind of random here a little bit, but a lot of people don't want to buy a house that I talk to. This just hit me because I have this conversation fairly often, because they can't afford the house that they want to buy, which is okay. Like, go buy a house that you can afford, live in it for a couple years, gain some equity, and then use that, equity to go buy the house that you really want to buy. You don't have to have your forever house be the first house that you own. And also, I do have to talk about this. I've talked about everything else. There are some times that renting is better than buying for particular situations, and someone may have a situation that I didn't even think about that would be also, but just some of the quick ones that I came. If you're new to the area, so like I help people all the time that are just moved here from, wherever, anywhere in America, and they haven't been here, so they don't know where they want to live. Does it want to be Edmond? Do they want to be in Mustang? Do they want to be Blanchard? Wherever. So they rent for a year and then get comfortable with the area. That I understand 100%. In fact, I encourage that a lot of the time. If you know that you're not going to be in your house for more than a couple of years, I tell people that that's probably a good time to rent as well. because it's hard to, especially here in Oklahoma City, Mustang, Yukon, we have kind of a modest appreciation. It's usually pretty consistently 3 to 5%. So if you're only going to own your home for 2 years and then sell it, you're probably not going to, I mean, there's a chance if you, but those another good time to think about renting as well. But I also tell people, if you're going to do that, if you're not going to live somewhere, it's not a bad idea to buy a home that would be a great rental home, live in it for however long, because you never know, things might change. You may stay here longer. But then rent that baby out, and then you have the benefits of that. Someone else is paying your mortgage, you're gaining appreciation, and all that good stuff. And then the obvious one is if you just can't buy, you're working on credit, those kinds of things. So anyway, like I was saying earlier, if you want to buy or sell or talk about anything, give me a holler, let's talk.